Stillwater, Minnesota, a picturesque town nestled along the serene St. Croix River. The vibrant autumn trees paint a breathtaking backdrop to this idyllic setting. It looked like a postcard, a scene of perfect tranquility and small-town charm. Emily Carver and her husband Jason seemed to have it all, a quintessential American dream. A beautiful Victorian home, a testament to their success and shared life. Laughter-filled evenings creating memories within the warm embrace of their home, and a love story envied by all who knew them, a bond seemingly unbreakable. Jason, the dependable financial advisor, was the steady rock, the provider, the anchor of their lives. Emily, the vibrant artist, his muse, bringing color and creativity into their world. But beneath the surface of this perfect facade, cracks were forming, secrets simmering. On October 28, 2024, an ordinary day turned extraordinary, and everything changed in an instant. Jason left for work that morning, embarking on his usual commute, but he never arrived at his destination. As hours passed with no word, Emily's initial worry slowly escalated, morphing into a gnawing panic. By nightfall, consumed by dread, she called 911, her voice trembling with fear and uncertainty. "My husband's missing. This isn't like him at all. Something is terribly wrong." The search began, a desperate race against time to find Jason and bring him home safely. But what police would find in their investigation wasn't just a missing person case, it was something far more sinister. A monster was about to be revealed, lurking beneath the surface of their perfect life, and Emily stood unknowingly at the very center of the impending storm. Detective David Ramos, a man known for his meticulous approach, took the case. He meticulously reviewed the initial reports, the witness statements, and the scant evidence available. But as he delved deeper, Jason's disappearance didn't add up. Something felt off, a nagging inconsistency that he couldn't quite place. A week before vanishing without a trace, Jason made a significant withdrawal. $50,000 in cash was taken from a secret account, one that his wife knew nothing about. Emily, his wife, was completely blindsided by this revelation. Digging deeper into Jason's background, police found burner phones hidden in his apartment, fake IDs with different names and addresses, and keys to a storage unit located across town. Jason's secret life began to unravel. Multiple aliases suggested a deliberate attempt to conceal his true identity, and suspicious financial patterns hinted at something far more complex. Ramos meticulously cross-checked Jason's fake names and dates of birth with cold cases of missing women from the past 5 years. One alias, Mark Peterson, stood out. It matched a witness account from a case, the 2018 disappearance of a young woman named Sarah Jenkins. Suddenly, Jason wasn't just a missing person. He was a prime suspect in something far darker and more sinister than anyone could have imagined. The evidence mounted. Jason's business trips aligned with disappearances across the region. The storage unit revealed trophies, women's jewelry, IDs, and chilling journals detailing his stalking. Jason Carver, once a beloved husband, became the state's most wanted fugitive. Emily's world collapsed, the media swarmed, friends and family recoiled, and suspicion clouded her every move. Was she a victim or an accomplice? Alone and isolated, Emily faced a horrifying truth. The man she loved was a predator, and her life was now a true crime story. The intense manhunt spanning several states finally ended in the vast open landscape of North Dakota. Jason was found dead in a desolate motel room, the scene suggesting a self-inflicted end by suicide. He left behind a cryptic note, a final, chilling message. "I wasn't working alone," the note declared in shaky handwriting. "She is still out there," the note ominously concluded, sending shivers down the spines of investigators. Despite a thorough investigation, law enforcement found no concrete evidence directly linking Emily to his heinous crimes. However, public suspicion, fueled by speculation and fear, stubbornly lingered around her. Jason's detailed journals provided closure for 3 long, unsolved, cold cases, bringing a measure of peace to grieving families. But the same journals also chillingly hinted at the existence of even more potential victims, lost to time and darkness. The unsettling question of an accomplice, a silent partner in crime, remains stubbornly unanswered, a haunting echo in the investigation. Emily, now living under an assumed identity, continues to write privately, pouring her thoughts and experiences into a personal journal. "We think we know the people we love, trust, and share our lives with," she writes. "But sometimes the person sleeping peacefully next to you is, in reality, a complete and utter stranger, hiding behind a carefully constructed facade." The real monsters, she reflects, are not always lurking in the shadows, but are often the ones we unknowingly and willingly let into our homes and our lives. In the aftermath, the truth became a puzzle scattered across the testimonies of those left behind. I saw Emily that night. She was different. Kept checking her phone, glancing over her shoulder. I asked if she was all right. She just smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Emily, did Jason ever mention anyone else? Was there anyone you didn't recognize around the house? He had friends, people I never met. Sometimes I'd hear voices on the phone, women mostly. He said they were work calls. I never questioned it. I should have. I heard arguing from their apartment, 2 voices. One was Jason, the other. It didn't sound like Emily. Too cold. Too calm. So you're telling us there was someone else. Did you see their face? No. But I saw a silhouette in the hallway just for a second. Tall, wearing a hood. Each account, each fragment only deepened the mystery. The more the investigators listened, the more the shadows seemed to multiply. For every answer, 2 new questions emerged. Was Emily truly innocent or the perfect accomplice? Was Jason the mastermind or merely a pawn? In these voices, cracked, hesitant, sometimes trembling, the truth flickers just out of reach, waiting for someone brave enough to piece it all together. The investigation takes a chilling turn. Just when the case seemed to be fading into obscurity, new evidence emerges. Evidence that refuses to let the past rest. A stack of cryptic photographs appears on the detective's desk. Each image is grainy, almost distorted. Emily's silhouette at midnight by the riverbank, Jason standing in the glow of a street lamp, a hooded figure lurking in the background. None of these photos were ever taken by friends or family. Who was watching them, and why? The phone records, too, reveal something strange. Between midnight and 2 a.m. on the night Jason vanished, Emily's phone received a series of calls, no caller ID, no trace. The voicemails are even more unsettling, static, then a whisper, barely audible. You know what you did. The voice is warped, genderless, impossible to identify. Investigators replay the messages under flickering lights, shadows creeping along the walls. The apartment, once a home, now feels like a stage for secrets. Close-ups reveal trembling hands, peeling wallpaper, a single photograph missing from a family album. And then, the final clue, a torn scrap of paper found wedged behind a loose floorboard. On it a single phrase scrawled in hurried ink. Look deeper, it's not over. The evidence raises more questions than answers. Who took the photographs, who made the calls, and what exactly is not over? As the screen fades to black, the camera lingers on the hooded figure from the photographs, unmoving, face obscured, watching. The truth, it seems, is still hiding in the shadows. And someone, somewhere, is waiting for the next move. The case remains open. The story, haunted by echoes in the dark, refuses to end. As suspicion coils through the quiet streets of St. Croix, police turn to the people who knew Emily and Jason best. Their friends, once the pillars of support, now find themselves under the cold glare of questioning. Detective, transcript. Please state your name for the record. Friend #1, voice trembling. Rachel Mendez. Rachel, Emily and I, we grew up together. She called me the night it happened. She sounded off, like she was scared but trying not to show it. I asked if she was alone. She hesitated. Then she hung up. Mr. Daly, I saw someone outside the Carver place, hooded, just standing there. I thought it was Jason, but the way the figure moved, it wasn't him. Too still, too deliberate. I closed my blinds. Detective, you're certain it wasn't Jason? Mr. Daly, I'm sure. Jason always waved. This person just watched. Malik, Jason came to my place late that night. He was jumpy, kept checking the street. He said, if anything happens to me, tell Emily I'm sorry. I thought he was being dramatic. Now, I don't know. Fear spreads like wildfire. Neighbors whisper about shadows at their doors. Friends question each other's alibis. Trust, once unshakable, fractures under the weight of uncertainty. Rachel, audio barely audible. I just want this to end, but I don't think it ever will. In St. Croix, every window hides a watcher. Every friend carries a secret, and as the investigation deepens, the community learns, when darkness falls, no one is above suspicion. Inside the heart of the St. Croix police station, the evidence locker hums with fluorescent light, a vault of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Metal shelves groan under the weight of unsolved mysteries, but tonight, 3 items draw the focus of Detective Ramos and the forensic team. Detective Ramos, transcript. Log the evidence. I want every detail double-checked. Forensic analyst. Item 1. blood-stained scarf, recovered near the riverbank, DNA analysis in progress. The pattern matches Emily's favorite. The camera pans to the scarf, sealed in a plastic bag, its crimson stains stark against faded fabric. Forensic analyst. Item 2, a hidden camera. Found behind the Carver property's mailbox. Memory card intact but encrypted. Text working on it. A gloved hand lifts the small device. Its lens, still smudged with dirt, seems to stare back. Detective Ramos? And the note? Forensic analyst? Typed, no fingerprints. It reads, "You missed what's right in front of you. V." The paper trembles slightly as it's held up to the light. The signature, just a single looping letter, sends a chill through the room. Detective Ramos, tense. Play the recording. A speaker crackles. An audio file retrieved from the hidden camera fills the silence. Audio distorted, whispering. You think you're safe, you think you know, but the river keeps its secrets, and so do I. The room freezes. Detective Ramos and the analyst exchange wary glances, the unspoken question hanging heavy. How deep does this darkness go? As the evidence locker door swings shut, the echoes of the recording linger, twisting through the corridors of the station. In St. Croix, the truth grows colder, and the shadows more dangerous. Inside a stark, windowless interrogation room, the hum of a single overhead light replaces the chaos of the evidence locker. Emily sits across from Detective Ramos, hands trembling, eyes darting between her interrogator and the mirrored glass. The camera never shows her face, only her clasped hands, the twitch of her foot, the glint of tears. Detective Ramos, calm, persistent. Emily, let's go over it again. The night you disappeared. Where were you between 9 and 11 p.m.? Emily, voice shaky, barely above a whisper. I told you I was home. I heard something outside, but when I looked, there was nothing. I just wanted to forget it all. Detective Ramos, gently. Forget what, Emily? Emily, a long pause, voice breaking. Everything. The river, the shouting. Jason was so angry, I don't remember why. Ramos leans in, voice softening. Emily, the scarf we found, it's yours, isn't it? Emily, confused, tears audible. I don't know, maybe, I have so many like it, I can't remember. Detective Ramos, pressing. And this note, the one signed V, do you recognize it? Emily, desperate, voice rising. No, I swear I don't know any V. A beat of silence. Emily's breathing is ragged. Detective Ramos, firm but kind. Emily, is there anything you haven't told us? Anything at all? Emily's hands clench tighter. Suddenly her voice changes, softer, distant, as if speaking from a dream. Emily, halting, remembering. Wait, there was someone else. Jason was outside by the old boathouse. He wasn't alone. There was a woman. I can't see her face, but I remember her voice. She was whispering something about the river. Detective Ramos, leaning forward, energized. Emily, think. What did she say? Emily, voice trembling. She said, "You'll never be free, not while the water runs." I thought it was a dream, but now, I don't know. The room falls silent, the revelation hanging heavy in the air. Detective Ramos softly, "Thank you, Emily." The interrogation ends, but the mystery deepens. As Emily is led out, her shadow flickers across the cold tile, haunted by memories and by secrets that refuse to stay buried. The case takes a new turn. Back in the precinct's digital forensics lab, blue screens flicker as detectives sift through Jason's phone records, piecing together a constellation of late-night calls and cryptic texts, all linked to a single contact, V. The messages are brief, coded and chilling. Meet at the river. No mistakes. Remember what's at stake. Each one seems to pull Jason further from those he loved and closer to the shadows. A sudden breakthrough. A former co-worker of Jason's comes forward. Her voice, disguised for protection, trembles as she recounts a night when Jason received a call. He looked scared. He said someone knew everything. Someone named V. He told me to forget what I heard. As investigators pore over Jason's belongings, a battered journal yields a startling discovery. Hidden in the margin, written backwards in faint ink, is a single line. Trust no one, not even her. The river hides two faces. The revelation lands like a thunderclap. Was Jason being manipulated all along? And who is the second face, the accomplice still lurking in the darkness? As the camera lingers on the flickering screen, the suspense builds. The investigation has pierced the veil, but the truth remains elusive. Somewhere V is watching, and the river keeps its secrets for now. In the end, the river gave up its secrets. Through tireless We remembered, sometimes the greatest courage is daring to trust again. Dawn breaks over the St. Croix, mist curling along the riverbank, as the town stirs from uneasy dreams. But peace is fragile here. Just as the community begins to heal, a new ripple disturbs the calm. On the riverbank, a young girl named Emily skips stones, her laughter echoing in the morning hush. Suddenly she stops. Something half buried in the mud catches her eye, a glint of metal, old and out of place. It's a small rusted locket engraved with mysterious initials. News of the discovery spreads like wildfire, old wounds reopen, and suspicion creeps back into every shadow. Police tape flutters in the wind as officers descend on the riverbank, searching for answers. In the station, the evidence room buzzes with renewed activity. Old files are reopened, timelines redrawn. We spoke to Emily, her small hands twisting nervously as she recalls the moment. Emily, voice trembling. "I was just playing by the water where the grass is tall. I saw something shiny in the mud. I thought it was a shell, but it was heavy. I showed my mom, and she called the police. I hope I did the right thing." In a tense police transcript, the stakes become clear. Detective, firm. "We need to know who had access to the riverbank that night. This locket, it's not on any of our lists. Neighbors are already talking. Some say they saw headlights by the water after midnight. No one leaves until we get answers." The river, once a place of solace, is now the center of suspicion. Closure slips away, replaced by a cold uncertainty. In St. Croix, trust is a fragile thing, and now, with one small locket, it is shattered once more. Just as the dust began to settle in St. Croix, another tremor rippled through the town. A secret, long buried, was about to surface. Mark, Jason's old friend, quiet, steady, always in the background, walked into the police station, his face pale, hands trembling. He could no longer bear the weight of what he knew. His voice, rough with regret, echoed through the halls. "I need to talk about that night. I can't keep this inside anymore." News of Mark's confession swept through St. Croix, hitting Emily especially hard. She watched from her bedroom window as police cars gathered outside her neighbor's home, her mind racing. Had she set something terrible in motion by finding the locket? Was the truth really what the town needed? The community, already frayed, now teetered on the edge. Old friendships buckled under the weight of new suspicions. Doors that once stood open now slammed shut. Inside the interrogation room, the air was thick with tension. Dramatic lighting cast long shadows across Mark's face as the tape recorder clicked on. The following is taken directly from the police transcript. Interrogator, calm, firm. "Mark, you said you had information about the night Jason disappeared. What changed?" Mark, voice shaking. "I saw something. Years ago. I was scared. I thought if I stayed quiet, it would go away." Interrogator, "What did you see?" Mark, "Headlights by the river, two people arguing. I thought it was just a lover's fight, but then I heard a splash. I never saw Jason again after that." Interrogator, "Why now, Mark? Why come forward?" Mark, voice breaking. "Because Emily found the locket. Because it's time." Emily's mother clutched her daughter's hand as the news broke. The community gathered at the river, faces pale, searching for answers in the shifting current. But as Mark's confession ended, another question surfaced. If Mark wasn't alone at the river that night, who was with him? And what secrets still lay buried beneath the muddy waters of St. Croix? The investigation, once thought to be nearing its end, had only just begun. The shadows along the riverbank stretched longer, and the truth, whatever it was, remained just out of reach. Night settles over St. Croix, heavy and unyielding, as if the town itself is holding its breath. In a stark, empty room, a single chair faces the darkness. Lisa sits, hands trembling, her face half lit by a flickering bulb. Her confession breaks the silence, voice raw, words heavy with regret. "I was there that night. I saw Jason by the river. I saw what happened, and I said nothing." Flashbacks flicker. Jason's silhouette by the riverbank, a figure turning away, a torn photograph clutched in shaking hands. "I thought the question hangs in the air. Can trust ever truly be rebuilt, or will the river of St. Croix carry these secrets forever downstream? As dawn breaks over St. Croix, the river glows gold beneath the morning light, no longer a keeper of secrets, but a witness to healing. The town, once fractured by doubt and silence, stirs to life with a newfound gentleness. Lisa stands at the riverbank, joined by Emily and the others, their hands linked in quiet solidarity. The pain of the past lingers, but it no longer defines them. It has become a thread, woven into the tapestry of their shared story. In the town square, neighbors gather not in suspicion but in hope. Jason's memory is honored with laughter, tears, and the planting of a tree, a symbol of forgiveness and new beginnings. Children run along the water's edge, their laughter echoing where fear once reigned. The camera weaves through scenes of reconciliation, old friends sharing coffee, once closed doors opening, wounds tended with gentle words. Lisa's voice, steady now, reflects the journey. We learned that truth, though painful, is the only path to trust. In facing what we feared, we found each other again. As the sun rises higher, the river flows on, carrying away the weight of secrets, reflecting the light of a community transformed. St. Croix stands stronger, its people bound by honesty, courage, and the promise that even the deepest wounds can heal. The screen fades to the river, sparkling beneath a clear sky. The silence that remains is no longer heavy, it is peaceful, filled with the hope of new beginnings. And as the credits roll, one truth endures. In the heart of St. Croix, trust has found its way home.